this is the final output of this project, and this is actually a complete Hive tutorial. Okay, and that would definitely help you to master your Hive skills. Okay, this is a finished product, and we are just building a finance management app, a personal finance management app. Okay, and let me reboot this thing. Then you can see your splash page, and we are checking the login status, and this user is already logged in. Now your dashboard, this is the dashboard, and where you can add you can view all the transactions, and you can view all the incomes, and you can add a new transaction, and you can add a new income here, and you'll get a real-time pictorial representation or the real-time chart here. This is a pie chart, expense versus income chart, and this is what we are going to build. And actually we are fetching the currently logged into user data from Hive, and you can see a profile page, and I haven't added a logout, and you can add a logout here for logging out. Okay, and this in this you can have multiple users. That means you can register multiple users here. Then if that particular user is signed in, he or she is going to view his transactions or her transaction only. Okay, that's what we are going to build. So you can code along with me, or sit back and relax and enjoy. Okay, let's begin coding. Okay, നമുക്ക് ജസ്റ്റ് നമ്മളെ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യാം. നമുക്കതിനകത്ത് ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി പറഞ്ഞു, ഒരു പേഴ്സണൽ ഫിനാൻസ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനാണ് നമ്മൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിനൊരു സ്പ്ലാഷ് പേജ് ഉണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇൻസൈഡ് ദ സ്പ്ലാഷ് പേജ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ഹാവ് എ ലോഗോ. ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് ആഡ് എ ലോഗോ ഹിയർ. ഓക്കെ, ദെൻ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് എന്തുണ്ടായിരിക്കും, ആഫ്റ്റർ സം സെക്കൻഡ് ആൻഡ് വി ഹാവ് ടു ചെക്ക് ദ ലോഗിൻ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്. Then after this we'll move into the corresponding pages. Like already login ആയ ആളാണെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, ഹോം പേജിലേക്ക് പോകണം. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എങ്ങോട്ട് പോകണം, നമ്മളുടെ ലോഗിൻ പേജിലേക്ക് പോകണം. അപ്പോൾ ലോഗിൻ പേജിൽ നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് ഇമെയിൽ പാസ്വേഡ് ഓതൻറ്റിക്കേഷനാണ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, യൂസിങ് ഹൈവ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. സോ യു ഹാവ് എ ലോഗിൻ പേജ് ലൈക്ക് ദിസ്. ദെൻ ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ എന്തുണ്ടായിരിക്കും, ഓൾറെഡി അക്കൗണ്ട് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ അക്കൗണ്ട് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പേജ് ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് ആൻ അക്കൗണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഫ്രം ഹിയർ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, നമ്മൾ രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ പേജിലേക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, മൂവ് ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പോൾ രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ പേജിൽ വി ആർ ആക്ച്വലി ആസ്കിങ് സം സിമ്പിൾ ഡാറ്റ ലൈക്ക് ഇമെയിൽ എന്താണ്, വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ പാസ്വേഡ് യു നീഡ്, ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ നെയിം ഓഫ് ദ യൂസർ. Then I need one more data, what is the phone number. Okay, then you have a button. Okay, you have a button here. This is the registration page, and ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി അക്കൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറയണം. ഓക്കെ, ദെൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, ഇവിടുന്ന് ലോഗിൻ പേജിലേക്ക് റീഡയറക്റ്റ് വരാം. ആൻഡ് സക്സസ്ഫുള്ളി ലോഗിൻ ആയിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, നമ്മളുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹോം പേജിലേക്ക് പോകണം. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് വിൽ ഡിസൈൻ ദിസ് ഹോം പേജ്. ഈ ഹോം പേജിൽ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് വേണം, വി നീഡ് ടു ഷോ ദ പ്രൊഫൈൽ ഡാറ്റ. ഈ യൂസറുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, നമുക്ക് ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്യണം. സോ ആരാണ് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തത്, ജസ്റ്റ് ഐ നീഡ് എ പ്രൊഫൈൽ ഐക്കൺ ഹിയർ. ദെൻ നമുക്കിവിടെ എന്ത് വേണം, ഈ ലോഗിനായ ആളുടെ ഡാറ്റ, വെൽക്കം ജോൺ, ഓക്കെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ എഴുതി. ആൻഡ് ഇയാളുടെ ഡാറ്റ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് വേണം, ഇവിടെ കാണിക്കണം. ഈ പേജിൽ ഇവിടെ ഈ പ്രൊഫൈലിൽ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്താൽ അയാളുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ പേജിലേക്ക് പോകണം. ആൻഡ് ഇൻസൈഡ് ദിസ് ഡാഷ്ബോർഡ് വി വാണ്ട് ടു ഷോ ദ ടോട്ടൽ, വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ ടോട്ടൽ ഇൻകം ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ ടോട്ടൽ എക്സ്പെൻസ്. ദെൻ ഐ നീഡ് ടു ആഡ് എ ന്യൂ ഇൻകം ആൻഡ് ഐ നീഡ് ടു ആഡ് എ ന്യൂ എക്സ്പെൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, രണ്ട് ബട്ടൺസ്. ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് ന്യൂ ഇൻകം പേജിലേക്കും ന്യൂ എക്സ്പെൻസ് പേജിലേക്കും ഒക്കെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള പേജുകളിലേക്ക് മൂവ് ചെയ്യണം. ആൻഡ് ഇവിടെ നമുക്കിവിടെ ഒരു ചാർട്ടോ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കാണിക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, ടോട്ടൽ ഇൻകം എക്സ്പെൻസ് അതിനെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തൊരു ചാർട്ട് നമുക്കിവിടെ ഷോ ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇവിടെ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതായത് ഓൾ ഇൻകം ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ വേറൊരു പേജിലേക്ക് പോകും. ആ പേജിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, we need to show all the transactions. അതായത് നമ്മൾ ആഡ് ചെയ്ത ഇൻകം ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് ഫുൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, വി നീഡ് ടു ഷോ ഇൻ എ ലിസ്റ്റ്. ഒരു ലിസ്റ്റിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, വി നീഡ് ടു ഷോ. ഓക്കെ, ഇതേപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, എക്സ്പെൻസുകളും എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, വി നീഡ് ടു ഷോ ദാറ്റ് ഇൻ എക്സാക്ട്ലി സെയിം ഫോർമാറ്റിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, എക്സ്പെൻസും കാണിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ദെൻ പ്രൊഫൈൽ പേജിൽ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ എങ്ങോട്ട് പോകണം, യൂസറുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ ഡാറ്റ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, നമുക്ക് കാണണം. ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ പ്രൊഫൈൽ പേജ്. ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് യൂസറുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ എന്ത് കാണണം, ഇവിടെ കാണണം. ഓക്കെ, ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊഫൈൽ പേജാണ്. ആൻഡ് ദീസ് ആർ ദ തിങ്സ് വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ബിൽഡ്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് മാനേജ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് പ്രൊവൈഡറാണ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും സ്ക്രീൻസ് നമുക്ക് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇനീഷ്യലി നമ്മൾ വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ക്രിയേറ്റ് ദ UI. Okay, I think you got the idea what is a project. Okay, so let's create a new project in Android Studio. ഓക്കെ, ഞാനൊരു പുതിയ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. പേര് പേഴ്സണൽ ഫിനാൻസ് ആപ്പ് എന്നാണ് കൊടുത്തത്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് നമുക്ക് ഇനീഷ്യലി നമ്മളുടെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസീസൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഹൈവ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, പ്രൊവൈഡർ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ദെൻ വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു യൂസ് സം ജനറേറ്റേഴ്സ്. നമ്മളുടെ അഡാപ്റ്റർ ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ സം പാക്കേജസ് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് അത്തരം ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസികളൊക്കെ നമ്മളുടെ പബ് സ്പെക്കിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്യണം. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് നിങ്ങൾ ഓൾറെഡി ഹൈവ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി ഹൈവിൻ്റെ ഒരു ബേസിക് വീഡിയോ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ഇഫ് യു ഡോണ്ട് മൈൻഡ് യു ക്യാൻ വാച്ച് ദാറ്റ് ആൻഡ് കം, ദെൻ ഇറ്റ് വുഡ് ബി ഈസി ഫോർ യു ടു ഫോളോ. അതർവൈസ് ഡോണ്ട് വറി, ഞാനിവിടെ മാക്സിമം എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്നാലും ആ വീഡിയോയിൽ അത്രയും ഡീപ്പായിട്ട് ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടായിരിക്കില്ല, നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തു പോകാണല്ലോ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്കത് വാച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ വാച്ച് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഫസ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസീസ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യണം. സോ pubspec.yaml വന്നിട്ട് ലെറ്റ് മീ ക്ലിയർ ഓൾ ദീസ് അൺവാണ്ടഡ് കമൻറ്റ്സ്. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നീഡ് ഓൾ ദീസ് തിങ്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇസ് എ സെറ്റിംഗ്സ് ഫയൽ. യു ഓൾറെഡി നോ pubspec is a settings file. And you need to all your dependencies here. So actually നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസി വേണം, you need hive flutter, hive_flutter. Okay, then you need provider package, provider. Okay, then and we need 2 more dependencies, but that we don't need in production. നമുക്ക് പ്രൊഡക്ഷനിൽ ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസീസ് നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, dev ഡിപ്പെൻഡൻസിയുടെ അണ്ടറിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്യാം. So I'm going to add 2 dependencies. One is called hive_generator and another one is called build_runner. Okay, these are the 2 dependencies we are actually need in development time. Okay, so after this go and get your project. Okay, then you have an error here and there is an error and in the dependency section, and come here, Flutter, where is the error, build runner and hive generated expected line 11. Okay, and I just have an unwanted dot there. Okay, then നമുക്ക് pub get ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ exit code 0 എന്ന് കിട്ടണം. Okay, then you got the exit code 0 here. Okay, then ഫസ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത്, നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, നമ്മളുടെ ഫോൾഡർ സ്ട്രക്ചർ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. I am going to create a new directory called screens. All the UI comes under the screens. Okay, then you need a directory called models. Okay, all our data models like your user model and your income model, expense model, all these models comes under this folder. Then you need to have some services. So we have some service files like actual business logic, like your authentication logic, then your add income logic, add expense logic, all those functionalities comes under the service folder. Okay, and this is a provider, these are provider classes. Okay, then obviously you will get an adapters inside these models. You can again subdivide this into or you can have subfolders inside these models for exclusively for authentication, and one is for expense and one is for your income. Okay, and we'll create that in later. Okay, then if you want to add some icons or images, come here, then create a directory called assets. Okay, I'm going to have some new directory inside, and that is for storing your image. Then I'm going to use some JSON here. So JSON. Okay, And this is the folder structure we need. And let me clear all my main dot, and let's write it from scratch. Actually we need to import material package. Okay, then create a main function, void main. Okay, void main is going to accept, it is going to call run app. Okay, then run app is going to accept a parameter of type widget, so I'm going to call a class, a constructor here. Okay, then let's create that constructor. It's a stateless widget and the class name is my app. Okay, and this is going to return material app. Okay, then inside the material app let's have some routes. Okay, and we are going to use named route here. Okay, routes, and inside this route you can define your initial route, and I need to go to splash page. Okay, and we haven't created the splash page yet, and we'll create it soon. And after this I need to tell what is the initial route, and this is the initial route. Okay, I think you already know this, and if you want to write some theme, you can write the theme here, and that is coming from theme data. And I don't want that debug banner, so let me clear that banner. Okay, and now let's create the splash page. Inside the screens let's create a new dot file that is called splash underscore page. Okay, and import material, create a stateful widget that is splash page. Okay, and that is going to return a scaffold. Okay, inside the scaffold write the body, and let's have a container here. Give a height of infinite height, and give a width of infinity. Okay, and I'm going to have a padding edge insets dot all. Okay, 20. Then the child should be column. Okay, and the children is inside this. We are going to have the UI for your splash page, and normally I'm going to add the image or logo. Okay, we don't have any logo right now, and we will add that logo here. Okay, and before that I just created the assets folder here, and you need to mark that inside your pubspec file. So come under the assets section here, then uncomment that keyword, then come here, mark your asset. And actually our images are residing inside our img folder, and our JSON files are actually located inside our JSON folder. So assets/JSON. Okay, then go and pub get it. Okay, that's it, and let's add some images. And before that let me clear this error. Okay, what is the error? You already know what is the error. Actually we haven't imported this class here, so let's go and import your splash page, and this is a const class. Okay, so this is what we need, and let me run this on my emulator. Okay, let's start the emulator. Okay, let's wait for the emulator to load. Actually it is loading. And okay, നമ്മുടെ ആപ്പ് റണ്ണായി വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ദിസ് ഇസ് സ്പ്ലാഷ് പേജ്, ആൻഡ് നമ്മൾ സ്പ്ലാഷ് പേജിൽ ഒന്നും ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. സോ ലെറ്റ്സ് ആഡ് അവർ ഇമേജ് ഫസ്റ്റ്. I have already added an image here, and let me rename this to refactor rename, and this is actually our logo. Okay, I just copied the logo from internet, and you have a JSON file here, and this is an animation and a success animation. So I think you already know how to work with JSON. So let me rename this refactor rename, that is success. Okay, and we will add some other JSON in future here. Okay, let's create or let's add the image in our splash page or logo. So for that I am going to have image.asset. Okay, let's give the path assets/img/logo.png and save this. Let's wait. Okay, and you have an error here, and the system cannot find the path specified. assets img/logo.png. Okay, and let me stop this and get your changes here and run it again. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് റണ്ണായി വന്നു വിത്ത് ദറ്റ് ലോഗോ. ആൻഡ് ഇതിപ്പോൾ ടോപ്പിലാണ് വന്നത് ബിക്കോസ് വി ഹാവ് ഇൻ സ്പെസിഫൈഡ് എനി ആക്സിസ് അലൈൻമെൻറ്റ്. ലെറ്റ് മീ ഗിവ് ആൻ അലൈൻമെൻറ്റ് as center. Now that logo is in center. I don't need this much height and width, so give me a height of 100 and width of 150, and okay, now it is okay. And let me increase the height to width to 180, and I don't need this gray shade here, so let's add an app bar here. I'm going to have an app bar. Okay, now you have an app bar there, and that is vanished. Okay, actually we just add an app bar, and the app bar's default color is actually white. That's why that is vanished. Okay, now after some seconds I need to go to my home page or login page. So let's write some logic here. Right now I'm going to add an init state here, and inside the init state I'm going to call a future. So we'll rewrite this later, or we'll change it in later. Okay, future dot delight. Okay, then duration seconds. After 4 seconds I'm going to move into another page. Okay, so I'm going to call navigator dot push named. Then that is, actually we don't want this in our context. Okay, and that is push replacement. Then this is login. Okay, actually we don't have push named, push replacement named. That is a route we need. I don't need this. Okay, then the route name is login. Okay, and actually we don't have this route here right now, so let's go to our main.dart file and create a route here. Okay, add that route here, login. Then the context, I need to go to login page. Okay, and right now we don't have a login page yet, so we need to create that login page first. So go to your screens, inside your screens folder, and actually I think we need to put a semicolon here. Then inside the screens I am going to create a dart file that is called login_page. Then import the material package and create a stateful widget that is login page, and this is where our login form resides. So it's a scaffold. Okay, then the body should be a container. Height I'm going to give infinite height, width infinite. Then the child should be a column. Okay, children, and here we are going to have the form and the button. Okay, I think it is clear. Now come to main.dart, import this class. Okay, then actually we wrote this logic inside your init state, so we have to reload this thing. So let me reload, and after 4 seconds we will move into our login page. Now you are inside your login page, and we are going to build the login page. Okay. Okay, ഇനി നമുക്കിവിടെ നമ്മളെ ഫോം ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. ആൻഡ് ബിഫോർ ദാറ്റ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ഡിസൈഡ് സം കളേഴ്സ്. So let me go to a website called Coolers, and you can select any palette from here. See, it's up to your choice which color scheme you want, and let me have my background, I mean the scaffold background, to be this color. So let's create a constant folder inside this lib. So I'm going to have a constants. Okay, and inside that constant, let's have a dot file that is called colors. Okay, then I'm going to import material, because all the colors and color class comes from this material package. So I'm going to declare a color final color scaffold color equal to color, and let's pass that color code 0xff, and you can paste that color code here. Okay, and I need this color as my background, scaffold background. Let's come to the main dot. I'm going to try a theme here, that is scaffold background color, that is your scaffold color. Okay, let me reboot this thing. Now your color is changed to that color. Okay, and let me reboot, and you have some issue here, because actually I don't need that color here. So let's go to splash page and go to your scaffold. I'm going to have background, and that is white. Okay, and let me reboot it again. Okay, now your scaffold splash page is white, and now your login page is having that color. Okay, so let's create the forms, and before that, what are the things you need inside your form? Actually, we need an email and we need a password. Okay, so for creating a login form, we need to create the form element, that is we are going to have text form field. Okay, and we need to declare the controllers and the form key, and after that we need to add a button, then validate. Okay, these are the steps you need to follow to create a form. So let's create the text form field. Actually I'm going to use some custom widgets that I already written. I'll share the code, I'll share the GitHub link for you, and then you can easily work with that. Okay, I'm going to create a folder called widgets. Okay, then widgets folder, inside the widgets folder I'm going to add some widgets. Let me copy that from my previous project. So I need a button text widget, a custom container, and I need a dashboard widget, a custom text form field widget, and a divider widget. And these are some classes, and you can utilize this class in any project, because this is project independent. These are some custom components. Okay, so I'm going to use this component for my this widget for my text form field. Okay, even for the password field. Okay, let's add that. So come to your login page. I'm going to call my custom text form field. Okay, and it has two parameters. One is the controller, another one is the hint text. So hint text is directly you can add the string, that is email, and let's save this. And you need to define the controller. So come here and you can define the controller, text editing controller underscore, and this is for email. So I'm going to add email controller, and it's a good choice to append controller with this variable name, with this object name, because that is of type controller. So text editing controller. I need one more controller, that is for password. Let's press Ctrl D for copying, and it's a shortcut in Android Studio, so you can have password here. Okay, then I need to create a form key, and form key, you know how to create a form key. Final, this is a login page. I'm going to have final login key equal to of type global key, and the generic type is actually form state. Okay, Then you need to validate. If you want to validate the form with this key, you have to wrap this column with a widget called form. Okay, then you can pass that key, that is login key. Okay, now pass a controller here, that is, this is for email controller. Put a comma, then save your project. Now you can see a custom text form field here, and we need to make some tweaks to make it center. So let's create let's add a main axis alignment center. Okay, and I need some padding because these two edges are touched in your scaffold border or container border. So I need a padding here, so you can have a padding edge inset dot all 20. Now you have your text box. Okay, and in the same way we are going to create another box that is for password. And if you want some space between this thing, so you can add a sized box, that is a const sized box with a height of 20. Okay, then after that I just paste here, and this is for your password, and change the hint text, that is password. Okay, and actually password field you need this to be masked, so you can have that obscure text, that is true. Okay, then that will automatically appear here, that icon will automatically appear here, and you can change the color. If you want to customize the color, you can come here, your custom text form field class. Then here I just wrote a suffix icon, and this is the color I have mentioned here, icon dot visibility. And which color you want? I need a color. Which color? This is icon, and the color should be, sorry, after this add a comma color. Let's give a white color. Now you have a white color here. Okay, and after this you need a button here, and you can see it's actually black. Why it is black? Because we just wrote a text style here, somewhere here, and text style, and this is inherited from your theme data. So you can come here inside the main dot, you can write a text theme here, text theme, and that is from text theme class. Okay, and what is the text theme we have used here? And inside your custom text form field, where is the custom text form field? Okay, custom text form field, and we just use display small. So let's rewrite that. Come here, and you can have display small, text style, the color should be white. Okay, and the font size is actually, I need only 16 font size. Now save this, and now you can see it is 16, and if you want you can increase the size here, and that is I need this to be 17. Okay, a bit more increased, and this is the form. And after this we need a button. So come to your login page, then add a space after this custom text form field. Then I'm going to have, and don't forget to put the comma here. Okay, and after this I'm going to call my app button class. App button, that is a normal container. App button is going to return a container with a gesture detector, and actually I wrote a callback function here. Then you don't have to wrap it with a gesture detector here, and we already wrapped it there. So it has a mandatory parameter on tap. Okay, then the child can be anything. I just wrote the child as a widget, so you can pass anything, any widget as a child. Or if you exclusively pass child as a text, then only you can utilize this for you can only pass a text there. So here I just used this as a widget. I'll show you what is the difference. Okay, so here I am going to have a text here, and you have something called app text. Okay, that is for exclusive for text. I'm going to have data, Then that is a custom class app text, and I'll give you the classes. I'll share you the entire code, then you will get all these classes. Then app text should be login, and save this. Now you have a login here. I need this to be color to be white. Okay, save this. Now you have a login here, and actually it's not looking like a button, so I need to have an height here. Height is 48. Then the width is, I'm going to give a 250 width, and you can have a decoration property, and or you can have a color here. Color should be, actually our logo contains an orange color, so you can right now I'm going with that orange, and later deep orange. This is the color we need. Okay, now you have a button there. If you want, you can increase the height. Normally the height should be a 52 height. Okay, so this is a button, and after this button I need to ask whether this user is new to here, or actually he doesn't have an account. He have to we need to redirect him to another page for creating an account. So let's ask that question here. So I need a sized box. Let me copy this sized box from here, and I'm going to paste it here. Then after this sized box I need a row. Okay, and inside that let me add the children, and first is app text. I'm going to ask don't have an account. Okay, then let me ask the size. Let me have a sized box here. Width, I need a 10 pixel width. Then another app text, and the data is actually register. And after saving this, you will get the text here, but the color is not, color is actually black because our background is blue, and on top of that we have a black text, and that won't be visible. So let me make this white. Now you have a text here, and I'm going to have the color for this also white. Okay, and I need this to be in center. That means horizontally we need this to be in center. Okay, and how can you make that? You can come here, main axis alignment, center. Okay, and if you want to increase the gap here, let me have a 40 here. Okay, and this is how you how your login page looks like. Okay, I think it's clear, and later we'll add the logic here, and here we have to write the login logic. Okay, that means we need to get the user data from the Hive DB. Okay, and if that credentials are matching, we'll redirect the user to home page. Okay, this is what we need, and we'll do it in later. Okay, and now I want to click on my register button, and we need to move into the register page. So let's create a register page first. Let's create a dot file, and this is called register_page, and let's import material and create a stateful widget, that is register page. Okay, and this is also a scaffold. Okay, then let's add that route here, and this is register, and we are moving into register page. Okay, and don't forget to add the comma here, and save this. Now I need to write the route here and come to your login page. Then this is not clickable, or it won't recognize your gesture, so you need to wrap this with a widget called something inkwell. I'm going to use inkwell, or you can use ink response, gesture detector, whatever you want. I'm going to write on tap here. Then you can call navigator dot push named. Actually we need to come back, that's why I used push named. So this is register, and put a semicolon here. Save this. Now click here. Now you will be inside your register page, and we need to create the registration form here. Okay, let's create that. Okay, now let's create the registration page. Actually, what all data we need inside our registration page? Actually, we need email field, and we need password, and we are asking the name of the user and the phone number. These are the fields we need, and you need a button here. Okay, and I think we forgot to add something inside your login page, and that is here. Here we need to write validators. So actually I haven't wrote any validator here. I forgot that. You can add validator here, validator, and it will accept a parameter value. Then you can validate. Actually this value is whatever you are typing inside your text box comes here, value. Then you can validate that value, and you can write any logic. I am just checking it whether it is empty or not, and you can use the regular expression to check whether it is a actual email address or not. Okay, and I'll add it in later. I don't I haven't actually I don't know exactly what to write, so normally I just copy that code from internet or somewhere. Okay, I'll copy that. Then value is empty. Then you can write return, and I'll show email is mandatory. Okay, and this is what we need, and you can have any number of if statements here to check to validate your data actually, and this is return null. Okay, then let me copy this from here, and I'm going to have that validator here also, and this is password is mandatory, and let me write one more logic here, and value dot length. That means we need actually, if it is less than 6, you need to show a message return password should be greater than 6 characters. Okay, and this is the validator logic we need. Then come to your button here. Then I'm going to validate this using the login key dot current state dot validate, and this will give you a bool value. This will give you actually a true if all the logic that means all the data the user entered are matching with our constraints. Then you'll get a true. So and we'll do all these things inside this if. Okay, and let me save this, and I'm going to go back. Let me click here. Now you can see email is mandatory. Actually I have password here, so let me delete this thing, and I'm going to click it here. Now you got 2 validations. Password is mandatory, and I can have 1 2 3 4 5. Then you'll get password should be greater than 6 characters. So all validations are working properly. Then let's go to the register page. So this should be actually you need the body container. Okay, then you can have that height, width, all these properties. Okay, I'll create it. I'm not going to waste the time because you already know how to create the form, how to add that validators. Okay, I'll create it off the screen. Okay, I mean off the video. I think that's better. Otherwise you are just wasting your time. Okay. Okay, now our registration page on the completed, and if I click here, all the validations are working. You can go back, click the register button, and everything is added here. And I just wrapped this with a single child scroll view. Otherwise you will get a render flux error here, but there is an issue. And when you add a single child scroll view, your main axis alignment won't work again. And actually I just made this as center, and it won't work if you add a single child scroll view, but actually I need this to be in center. how can you do that? Then you can come up with another widget called custom scroll view, and let me cut this column from here, and I'm going to remove this from here, and this is actually a custom scroll view. Okay, and inside this custom scroll view we have slivers, and slivers I'm going to use a sliver called sliver fill remaining, and it has a child, and I'm going to paste that column here. Okay, then save this. You still have this thing here, and if you click here you'll get that render flux here, and actually we are not going to wrap this with a single child scroll view. We are actually going to write a property called has scroll body that is false, and save this. Now you achieve something, and this is a sliver and this is scrollable here. Okay, now everything is vanished. That means that render flux errors are vanished from here. Okay, and this is how you create a custom scroll view, and that's what I need. I need this to be in center. Okay, then and at the same time I need this to be scrollable to avoid that render flux here error. Okay, so let's go back, and now I'm going to have I'm going to create the models. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now let's create the model. So come inside your models folder, create a new dot file called auth or user model, user underscore model. Okay, this is where we are going to define our user blueprint. It's actually a class user model. Okay, so let's explain something. See, we are going to use Hive as our backend. Okay, and actually we need to store our user object inside our Hive DB. Okay, and this is actually a Dart object. You can directly store that in your Hive DB. So we need to convert this into this user object to be converted to a Hive representation. Okay, and this is what we need. So we need to write this as a Hive representation. So this class extends from Hive object. Okay, now you can define all the fields here: late, string, email. Then you can have late, string, password, then late, string, name, then late, string, what else, phone number. Then I'm going to have a status for the user, so that should be a late int status. Okay, these are the fields actually we need, and if you want you can add more fields like created at, updated at, all these fields. Okay, I'm going with only this number of fields. Okay, so you can write the constructor, and this should be user model. Okay, let's define the parameters and required, because all the fields are late, so you need to make that required. This dot email and required this dot password, comma, required this dot name, and required this dot phone number, and one more field, required this dot status. Okay, this is the constructor. Okay, and actually we need to do some more changes, and I told you we need to convert this into a Hive representation. So you need someone else in between this Dart object, or someone else who will take the Dart object and convert that into Hive representation, and we call this as adapters. Okay, so you need to create an adapter. Okay, you can create an adapter inside this models folder, but actually we are not going to write that manually. We are going to generate it. So for that, I'm going to include something here, that is a part file. So let's write that part file here. A part is nothing but, and the remaining part of this thing is inside some other file that is called part means. So I'm going to define something called part. Okay, part, then use the file name, and that is user underscore model dot g dot dart. Okay, and you'll get an error here, and after we generate the actual file, that error will be vanished. So, and we need to have some more changes here. I'm going to have a notation here, Hive type. Okay, and the type ID is 0. Then we have to make something like this, and actually we are passing this class to the adapter, or that adapter will take this class and convert that into Hive representation. So you need to tell the Hive, you need to tell the adapter that this is the first field, or Hive, Hive is a key value. In Hive, data is stored as a key value pair. So you need to tell the Hive that this is the first key, and this is the second key, and this is the third key, and so on. So I need to have that thing here, that is Hive field, and the index is 0. Okay, then you need to add all these things here like this, and this is the first one. Okay, then paste it here, and this is the second one, and this is the third one, and after this the last one, and this is the fourth index, and totally we have 5 fields, and starting from 0 the index is 4. Okay, and now your class, we finished the class. Okay, let me reformat this thing, and obviously you have an error here, and that is because we haven't generated this file. Okay, so you need to generate that file. For that we added a dependency here, and you can come to your pubspec file and make sure that you added this dependencies here. And we have, under the dev dependency, we have a Flutter Hive generator and a build runner, and we are going to use this build runner to generate that class. Okay, so go to terminal and make sure that you are inside the current path, and your path is exactly same this, and that means you are inside this project. And you can run something like this. You can have dart space run, and you can call the build runner build underscore runner space build. Okay, press enter. Then if everything is okay, this command will, and you cannot have find package, and I just misspelled it, and make sure that your spelling is correct. Okay, and I just missed a D here, build underscore runner and build. Okay, then this will execute that build runner, and after this you'll a class will be generated inside your models folder. Let's wait for the class to be generated, and that is your adapter class. Okay, it's generating, and let's wait for that. And for running this build runner, you need to add these 2 dependencies. Okay, it's giving you some feedbacks here, and after some time you'll get something like this. Okay, so it is the building is succeeded, and you have a file inside your models folder that is called model user model.g.dart, and that's what we imported here. Okay, then you can see that is extended from an adapter class. Okay, then the adapter type is user model. That simply this means that this adapter is going to accept a user object or Dart object of type user model, and that will convert into a Hive representation. And you have 2 files here. One is for reading data from your Hive database, and another is writing data to the Hive database, and you have some other overrides here, then you can manually write this file, but that will cause some errors, if manual errors. But to get rid of that manual errors, and it is advisable to generate that adapter like this. Okay, so you can see a read method, and when you are reading something from your DB, and you need to convert that into a user object. Okay, that's what it's generated here. And if you're writing something to the Hive database, you need to mention how many bytes you are going to write, and actually this 5 means you are actually have 5 fields, so you are going to write 5 fields. And if your model contains 6 fields, this should be 6, and the first key is email, second is password, third is name, and this obj is actually we are passing user model. And by accepting that user model, this adapter will convert that user model into Hive representation. That what it means. Okay, I think you got the point. Okay, and I won't suggest you to manually write this thing, and it's a better choice to be generated. Okay, so this is your adapter class. And the next thing, for using the Hive, you need to make some changes in your main function, and you need to initialize your Hive here. And for that, I am going to make this async method and change your main function to an async method. Then you have to await for the Hive. So write something like this: Hive dot init flutter, Hive dot init flutter. Okay, and you need to call this method, and that will automatically import a Flutter Hive adapter or Hive Flutter package. Then after this, you need to add you need to register your adapter here. So Hive dot register adapter, and your adapter is user model adapter, and this is your adapter. Okay, and if you have more adapters, we'll add all those adapters here, and we'll do it in later, because we are going to have more adapters, like your income adapter is there, and your expense adapter is there, and we'll add all those adapters here. Okay, then after this, you need to you know what is Hive. Hive stores data inside a box. There is a concept called box. Inside a Hive DB, data is actually stored inside Hive box. So you need to open a box with a name. Okay, and inside that box we are going to store the documents. Okay, and inside the document we have key value pairs. Actually we are going to store a user object inside that box. Okay, so next we are going to write our service class, and inside that service class we are going to write all the methods. Like this is for authentication, so we have to register a user, we have to log in a user if you want to get all the users, and if you want to check whether the user is logged in or not, and we are going to write all the method inside our service class. Okay, let's do it. Okay, now let's write the service class. For that, inside your service folder, create a new dot file that is called auth service. Okay, and I'm going to have a class here, class auth service, that extends from change notifier. Okay, or you can use the with dot extends. Actually I'm going to use with. Okay, and with change notifier. Now the first thing is you need to have a box. You need to create a box first. So let me create a box. I think you already know the concept of Hive. If you don't know, go and watch my initial video about Hive. Okay, then you will get a better understanding. Okay, first you have to open a box, and actually this box is the intention of this box is to store user object. So the type of this box is actually user model. First you have to import Hive, and let's try something like this, and this is actually user box. Okay, now let's import the model. Okay, and I need to import the Hive class. So let me import the adapter class. Okay, then after this I'm going to have I'm going to have I'm going to call this open box. Let's create a method for create opening that box, future. Okay, and it's a void method, future void open box, OPA, open box, and that is an asynchronous method, and we need to assign that box to this variable, and we are going to have await, and you have methods in your Hive package, hive dot open box, and what is a box name you want, and I need users box. Okay, and this is a method for opening the box, and then go to your main.dart and call that method here, and actually let's go to the main.dart, and inside the main.dart we already have register the adapter, and below that I'm going to await for the auth service, await your auth service. Okay, auth service, then you can have dot open box. Okay, then come back to your service class, and inside the service class I'm going to write a register user method. For first we have to write register user, then that is also a future, but you need to I need to return a bool value here, and if that is success or not, and this is method is called register user, and this is also an async method. And first you have to check if that box exists, so I'm going to have user box equal to null. That means there is no box. Then you need to await for open box. Okay, then you are going to create a box. Then if that box already exists, I'm going to have wait for underscore user box dot add. Okay, actually we need to add a user object, so you need to accept that here, user model user. Okay, then I'm going to have that user here, user. Okay, and this is box is nullable, so you need to put an exclamatory mark here, and if that is okay, and you need to I think you need to notify the listeners, okay, then return a true from here, true. Okay, and that's it, and there is no errors. Okay, and now let's use this inside our register button. So go to your screens folder, take the register page, then write the logic inside our button, that means the register button. So I have to go to my register page and find the register button. This is where we need to write the logic. Okay, actually this is the page, and inside that page, and I'm going to have something like this, and I need to access that provider class. So I'm going to call my final auth service equal to provider dot of the provider you want, then actually provider dot of you need to import the provider first. Let me import that. Okay, provider dot of context, and the type is actually auth service provider, auth service. This is a provider we need. Okay, then put a semicolon here, and you already know what is how to use providers, or how to work with provider. If you don't know, I have a dedicated video, a series of video about providers, and you need to wrap this with you need to pass that provider here. So go to your material.dat. I'm going to wrap this with a widget called widget, that is called multi provider, because I am going to have a lot of providers. Okay, income provider, expense provider, all that providers. So providers, and this is actually change notify provider, and I'm going to create You need to create context auth service. Okay. Now you can access, and we just pass this provider to the material app or wrap this with a, and this is the inheritor widget actually. So this will be accessible from anywhere the tree, that means that is broadcasted into the tree, and you can consume that value from anywhere by using the consumer widget or by something like this. And here you can access that provider here like this. Now come down, and inside your register button, I need to show some indicators while registering. So let's create a show dialog first. So I'm going to have a show dialog. Okay, and this show dialog has two parameters, context and the builder. Okay, builder is going to build something, so context, and that is going to return a center widget and a child widget called circular progress indicator. Okay, and add all the semicolons. Okay, and let's reformat this thing, and I'm going to have a parameter, and that is called, I think you can pause, and you need to put a return statement here. I forgot to add that. Okay, and after that I can have a barrier dismissible, and that is false. Okay, then okay, and when you click this button, you'll show, let me save this, click this button, and if you fill you got all the validators here, and let's have some value here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I'm just checking this thing. Okay, now click here, and we are expecting something, and we are expecting a show dialog. It's actually not coming. Let me reboot this thing. Okay, and your splash page is loaded. After 4 seconds will be moved into your login page, register page, and your values here. Okay, I just entering some data here. Okay, now you can see an indicator here. This is what we need, and that indicator is right now, that indicator is on top of this context, and I'm going to have something like this. We need to actually we need to access that register method by using that provider. So I'm going to call user model user equal to user model. Okay, and we need to pass all these values, because all these are late variables and all these are required variables. So you need to pass all these values. Our email is coming from actually email controller.text, and you can trim this if you want, and your password is coming from your password controller.text.trim. Okay, and your name is coming from your name controller, and this is actually underscore name controller.text. Okay, then phone number is coming from your phone number controller, phone controller.text. Okay, then status, you can manually, status is actually an integer. I'm going to have an int here. Okay, then after this I need to call the register user method. So I'm going to have a final result, because register user is going to return a bool value. For storing that, I'm going to store have a variable, and this is a future, so await. And for if you want to make this an await, you need to make this async at that on tap. So await for what? Await, and access, use that provider auth service dot, you'll get this register user and pass that user object. Okay, then navigator dot pop context, navigator dot pop context. Okay, and if that, okay, let me take this, if that result is true, that means result equal to true. Okay, because you are going to get a bool value as return, I'm going to pop the context. Okay, and if you want, you can move into the login page. So let me have, okay, and it will automatically pop that context, and you will be redirected to home page. Or I think you need to have one more context here, because there is a indicator on top of this context. First you have to pop this context, then after that you need to pop the register page. Okay, let me reboot this thing. Okay, and let me write a just a print here, and I'm going to have a print here, print success. Okay, and save this, click the register button and add an email. I'm going to have an email here, jobin@gmail.com, that's my name, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and the name is actually Jobin, and the phone number I'm going to have 78451245. We haven't validated the phone number, I just randomly typed some numbers here, and click the register button. And you haven't seen that circular indicator, because that Hive is so much faster and lightweight. So actually it is registered, I think. So come here, you can see a success here, and because we just hit this function and everything is happened in a blink of an eye, and you got the print, and you already came back to your login page. Okay, that is success. If something wrong is happened, and you'll show that you'll get that progress indicator. Okay, and this is how you register a user. Then let's do the login process. Okay. Okay, so far we have completed the registration process. Now let's write the login process. So for that I'm going to come inside my auth service. Then I'm going to write a method for logging the user. Okay, so what is actually we need? Actually we need to check whether this user object exists inside our Hive DB, and if that email password combination is there, I need to fetch all the data of that particular user. So I'm going to write a future here, future, and this is going to return something. We need to get back the data of that user, so that is actually the return type is actually user model. Okay, and that is nullable. Then I'm going to call this as login user. Okay, that is also async, and I'm going to have a parameter for this. Actually we need two parameters. One is called string email, and we need one more parameter, string password. Okay, and as always we need to check whether there is a box. So underscore user box equal to null, then you can call the open box. Okay, and this is an asynchronous operation, so you need to await. Okay, and if everything is okay, and if there is the box is already open, then you can check, you can go through all the users inside that box, or all the documents. So I'm going to have var, I'm going to write a for in loop, and for user in your user box, that is underscore user box, that is nullable values, and that will give you all the entries inside that box. Then I need to check the combination, password email combination. Okay, so I'm going to write an if here. So user dot email equal to email, and user dot password, not phone number, actually password equal to your password. That's what we received through the arguments. Okay, if that is okay, I need to return that particular user. I'm going to return that user. Okay, and this is what we need actually. And if there is no such thing, and you can return, and this function actually ends here, I think. So you need to return a null here. Okay, and this is a method. Now come to your login page and find the button, and inside the login page, and you can use exactly the same thing. I can come to the registration page and copy that provider from here. I'm going to copy this and come to the login page, then come here and let me paste that here. Okay, and you need to import that packages here, provider and the auth service. Okay, then come down, find the registration button, and this is for that button located. So if that user clicks here, I need to show exactly that dialog here. So you can copy that show dialog from here. I just copied that show dialog and paste it here. Then after this, I'm going to call your auth service dot login. Okay, and you need to pass two parameters. One is the email that is coming from the email controller dot text. You can trim it. Okay, and password is coming from password controller dot text dot. I'm not going to trim this. Okay, then and you are actually getting back some data, so I'm going to have an async here. Then you can have final user equal to await auth service dot login user. Then now you can check now you can check if there is some data. That means user equal to not equal to null. If user not equal to null, and that means you have something, and you have something in your user variable. That means you got actual data. Then I'm going to go to navigator dot, you can use push named and remove until, and I'm going to have home. Okay, and after this put a semicolon. Okay, then you can pop the context, navigator dot pop context. Okay, now come to your main dot and define that route here, and I need something like this, and this is home. Okay, then come to your login page, and I need to pass arguments. I need to pass that user data. I'm going to pass that user. Okay, in with that route. Okay, and let me reboot this thing, and your app is loading. Actually, we have a user inside our your box, and we made a mistake here. Actually, I need to go to home page. Okay, and this class doesn't exist, so come to screens, create a new dot file that is called home underscore page, and this is our financial dashboard. So import material and stateful widget, that is a home page. Okay, then come here and create a scaffold. Okay, I'm going to have a scaffold. Right now I'm just having a scaffold. Okay, then inside this main dot import this class. Okay, then reboot this thing, and let me run this. And we already have a user called jobin at gmail.com. I'm going to use that, and let's try jobin at gmail.com. Password is 12345678, and click here. Now you are inside your home page, and you successfully log in here, and come here inside your home page. Now we need to write some logic here, and this is actually for a single user, and I'm not going to build this for multi-user. And if you are building this for multi-user, you need to have some more fields. you need to see the issue. I'll tell you while adding the add income and add expense services, what is the actual issue if there are multiple users. Okay, and right now I'm planning with this a single user. Okay, no, because this is a personal finance manager, that is for our personal use. And inside the home page I need to show all the functionalities and the login to user info, etc. And before that we need to do some more thing. We need to maintain the login state first. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, for maintaining the login state, actually we are going to use shared preferences, and you already know what is shared preference, and you can store some simple values inside your shared preference. If you don't know exactly what is shared preference and how to work with shared preference, I have a video about shared preference in my channel. Okay, then for using the shared preference, you need to add a package inside your pubspec file, and under your dependencies add the package shared preferences. Okay, and pubget it. Now come to your auth service. Actually, when a user is successfully logged in, we need to store something inside your shared preference to indicate that this user is already logged in. So I'm going to write a method. Okay, let's create a future method here. Future, and that is going to return a void, and I'm going to call this as set logged in state. Okay, and this is going to accept a parameter, that is bool is logged in. Okay, then I'm going to I'm going to access this shared preference. Let's create an instance of shared preference. So final underscore preference equal to await. Okay, and make this async because that is a future. Async await, then shared preferences dot get instance. Okay, now you can utilize that shared preference object, and preference dot, I'm going to set a bool value, and I think you already know how to work with shared preference. You can set simple values to shared preference, and I'm going to set a bool value, and the keys actually you can have something like your logged in key. I'm going to write a key here. Let me declare a key here. Okay, this is a key we need, is logged in, and that is called logged in key, and I'm going to access this key, this as my key, and come here. The key is actually that logged in key, and the values actually that we have passed inside this method, that is logged in. Okay, put a semicolon, and this is how set logged in state. And what do you call this thing? And you have to call this set logged in after you successfully logged in a user, and this is where we need to call this thing. So I'm going to call that await underscore no, we haven't used underscore. That is a if you use underscore, that is a private method. So I'm going to pass it true here. So you can pass it true. TRUE. Okay. Reformat, and the logic is something like this. And if you find a match here, that means the credentials are matched, that means you are successfully logged in. And I'm going to set a key. That key is called underscore is logged into the shared preference. And now we have to write a function inside your inside your auth service to check whether this user is already logged in or not. So I'm going to have a future method here that is going to return a bool value, and that is called is user logged in. Okay, and there is no parameters for this async, and I'm going to have that instance final underscore preference equal to await shared preferences dot get instance. That is okay. Then I'm going to return that preference dot get that bool. Actually we set the bool while the user is logging in, and here I'm going to get that bool value, and your keys underscore login key, and put a semicolon here. And what is the error here? Actually it has a return type bool, and this will return if you get exactly if there is a user, if there is a key, and what if otherwise. So you need to return a false here. Okay, that will get rid of that error. Okay, now we have to come to your splash page, and we have to check whether this key already exists or not. Then if that key exists, that means the user is logged in. Otherwise that there won't be any login to user. Then we have to show the login page. That's what we have to write. Let's do that. Okay, and we already have a splash page, and we already returned something like this. That is we are just adding a delay, and after some delay we are moving into the login page. And let me rewrite this. I'm going to write a future method here, future and void, and I'm going to call this check login state, and this is an async method. Then here let me await for that delay, and future dot delayed duration seconds, that is I need to have 4 seconds. Then I'm going to create an instance of that provider here. So final auth service equal to you can call the provider, and we can call the of context, and the provider is actually auth service, that is a provider. Okay, then context, I'm going to pass some parameters here, listen false. Okay, then after that I need to check the login state. That means whether this user is already logged in or not, and you can use that by calling our is user logged in method inside our auth service. So I'm going to have final, let me declare is logged in, okay, equal to, and await, and why you are not getting that thing, await. Okay, await what, auth service dot check, I think is user logged in, and this is the method we want, and I just misspelled the final, and one L is missing there. Okay, then now you have a bool value inside this is logged in, and you have to check if is logged in, that means there is a true there, is logged in. Then you want to move into some page, that is you want to move into home page. So let me call my navigator dot let me copy that from your page, actually our login page, and this is what we need. Okay, copy this thing, and we are moving into our home page, and there is an issue here, and actually I'm just removing that user parameter here because we don't have that parameter here, so I just removed that. We'll add that later. We'll access that inside our home page. Okay, don't worry, I will add that. Okay, then for the time being I'm just deleting that user argument from this. Okay, and if that is if user is logged in, you are redirecting the user to the home page. Otherwise, and you need to redirect the user to login page. Okay, this is what we need. Okay, and you need to call this method inside the init state. Let me remove this future.delete, and I'm going to call that check login state here. Okay, then let me reboot this thing. Okay, and it will ask you to log in again. Then you can use the credentials to log in. Okay, so there is an error, unable to establish connection on channel. Okay, and actually the issue is that after installing this shared preference, we haven't stopped the app. Let me stop the app and run it again. Okay, so run this app again, and preferably you can delete that alt build and rebuild it again. I haven't do that, so if you have any further errors, you can try that. Okay, and by using the flutter clean command. Okay, let's wait for the app to reload. Okay, and it is taking some time because we just stopped the app and run it again. Okay, our app is reloaded, and let me reboot this again. Okay, and actually we are expecting the splash page. Then there is a check happening here, and whether this user is logged in. That means that if there is a login key, you will be redirected to your home page. Otherwise, you will be redirected to your login page. And let me log in. Jobin@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then click the login button. Now you are inside your home page, and let me reboot this thing, and we are expecting this home page again. And initially you will get your splash page for a 4 second, and after 4 seconds and your shared preference contains a key, then you will be redirected to your home page. So you successfully maintain the state. Okay, now let's design this home page and where our other functionalities reside. Okay, we need to build the home page, and before that I'll tell you about an issue. And when we create the user model, actually we don't have an ID field for the user. So let me add an ID field, and let me create an ID field here. Hive field, that is the 5th one, and late int, and let me have a string ID. Okay, and this is late, and we just edited our class. And when you edit your user model, and you need to regenerate this class, so we have to regenerate this class. So let's for regenerating that class, you have to call the runner method, and after this you need to pass that ID inside your constructor, this dot ID. Okay, now you have an error in your register page, and this is because we haven't passed an ID here, because ID is a mandatory field. So ID, and you can't give a hard-coded ID here, so I'm going to use a package called UUID, and go inside your pubspec, add this package UUID. Okay, so pubget this thing and come back to your register page, and when you click the button, I'm going to create an instance of var UUID equal to UUID dot v1. Okay, that will create a random ID and store it inside your UUID, and I'm going to assign that UUID here. Okay, and now your error in the register page is vanished. Now you have an error in your adapter class, and this is because your adapter class doesn't contain that required field, so we have to regenerate that class. I'm going to delete this thing, or other you can do it without deleting, but I'm going to delete this class and delete. Okay, and delete anyway. And you'll have an error in your main page, and let me comment that adapter first. Okay, then come to your terminal and run this command. Okay, that will create a new adapter class with that id field. Okay, it is building. Then if it is okay, we'll get a new adapter file here. Okay, now your class is generated and with that id field, and come to your main.dot file and uncomment this thing. Okay, and then let me stop this, and I'm going to uninstall my app because I need to clear all my shared preference values and all those things. Let me clear everything from my emulator, and I'm going to run it again and make sure that you don't have an error inside your inside any of the files. Okay, and I just rerun the app. Let's wait for it to be populated. Okay, then it's installing. Now we are expecting the login page because we just cleared the app and there is no shared preference value, and you have an error here. And what is the error? Null is not a subtype of string type in the cast. Okay, so user model, and you can have id field 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, as string. Let's check the model again. Where is the user model? Okay, where is the user model? And late string id 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, let's fix that. I have an error here. Hive field 5 and late string id required this dot email, password, name, phone number, status and id. That is okay. Where is the error? Unhandled exception, type null is not a subtype of type string in typecast. Okay, and here is the error. User model id field 5 0 1 2 3 4 5 and id type 0 as string. Okay, now it's running. The issue is actually I forgot to uninstall the app, and in the old app we don't have an id field. So when you try to get data from your Hive, we don't have an id field. So actually that is the issue. I just uninstall the app and reinstall it again. Okay, now your app is running, and we just added a new field, that is id. So let's create a new user, and I'm going to use this jobin again, jobin@gmail.com. okay, jobin@gmail.com, and the password is 12345678, and I need the name here, jobin, and phone number 78451245. okay, and give any number, and we don't have any validation here. And click the register button. Now it is registered, and I'm going to have that id, email id here, jobin@gmail.com 12345678, and click here. Now you just logged in. Okay, and now we have an id field, and now I need to rewrite my auth service, and we need to rewrite the auth service to get the user data. That means we need to know which user is logged in, and I need to get that data from my where do you want to get that? I need to get the data from my shared preference. So while logging in, I'm going to have I'm going to have that value stored inside my let me have an ID here. Okay, so you need to rewrite some functions here. That means login user, and after logging in we'll get user.id. So I need to pass that id is actually a string, so I'm going to define a string here, and you have to pass user.id here. And after receiving that id, I need to store that inside an await underscore preference dot set string. Okay, that is I'm going to call this as my id key, and I'm going to have that value as id. Okay, and put a semicolon. Now when you log in, you are actually setting two values, the logged in key and the id. Okay, now we need to write a method for getting the user data. So I'm going to write a future method, and it's capital actually, future, and you need to return the user model. Okay, then it's nullable, and I got that to be get current user and async. Then I'm going to call final is logged in equal to await is user logged in. Okay, then you'll get a bool value if is logged in. Then you need to get the current user's login ID. So I'm going to use final logged in user ID equal to await, and what you are awaiting for, I need to get the current user ID. So you need to write a function get current user ID. And how can you get that? And let's create another function here, and that is also a future, and the return type is string because ID is string. Then get logged in user ID async method, then create an instance underscore preference equal to await shared preferences dot get instance. Okay, then underscore preference dot get string, and the key is ID. Okay, and we are just directly returning this. Return what? Return this thing, or you can store this in a variable final ID equal to await underscore preference dot get string, the key is ID. Okay, and return that ID. Okay, what is the error? And you can have a null here. Okay, now you can call this method get logged in user ID. You can call that method get await get logged in user ID. Okay, and I think that is okay. Then if you get that value, if you got that ID, you need to go through all the docs. So I'm going to iterate through the documents in user box dot values. Okay, then if user dot id equal to is logged in user id. Okay, and I think you have a typo here, and that is actually logged in user id. Okay, then return that user, return user, and this is what we need. And we just wrote a method to get the current user. Then otherwise you need to return a null here. There's nothing. Then that's it. Now you have to utilize this inside our home page, and come inside your home page, and you can call that method inside your home page. What do you call this? And you can call that using the provider. Okay, let's try with that provider, and inside the auth service, and this is a provider class, so you can use that use this provider inside the home page. So let's have that here. How can you write that? And actually I need to call that provider. I'll copy that from my register page. Okay, this is the thing you need. I need to call my service provider here and come inside my home page. I'm going to paste that here. Okay, and you need to import all these packages, provider and your auth service. Okay, then you can use a future builder actually, and it is going to return a scaffold. And let's try with a future builder body, and this is going to return a future builder, and future builder is actually a user model. Okay, then brackets, then your future. What is a future? I need to access the auth service dot get current user. Okay, then and builder context and the snapshot. Okay, then you need to check whether it has data or not. And I'm going to copy something because that is you're already familiar with that thing, so I'm not wasting your time. You need to check the connection state, and what is the connection state here. Then you can write an else part here, because you need to wait for the data to be loaded. So I'm going to have if snapshot has data, then you need to return something, final user data equal to snapshot dot data. Okay, then and right now I'm going to return a text widget here. Oh, let me return a center. Let's check center, a child, a text, and user data dot, you'll get that name. Okay, and this is nullable, I think. Okay, else you have to return a circular progress indicator, and there's a semicolon here. Else return a center, a child, a circular progress indicator. Okay, and there is a missing semicolon. And let me reboot this thing. Actually we already maintained the login state, and your splash page is loading, then it is checking, and now you got your circular progress indicator, and you have an error, and you are not getting the data. Why you are not getting the data? Let me reload this again. And you are not getting the data because and your get current user, And because I think we need to stop this again because we haven't set that login state. Let me stop this, and I'm going to uninstall this app once again because there is no ID field inside your state. That means your shared preference, there is no ID field. So let me uninstall. OK, then run it again. Okay, and let's wait for it to be loaded. Okay, and I just restarted or reinstalled the app, and I'm going to log in again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and click the login button, and you have an error here. I think, what is the error? Click the login again, it's not logging in. And is there any error? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 jobin@gmail.com. Okay, and we haven't registered this thing, and we need to show that error because we just tried without registering. So let's create jobin@gmail.com. Password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and name is Jobin. Actually, we uninstall the app. When you uninstall the app, all the database, shared preference, all values get cleared, and your phone number 78451245. Okay, and register, and now you have your entry here. Now click here. Now you got the value. Okay, I will zoom this. Come here, and your text, instead of this text I'm going to use app text here. App text data, and that is actually user data dot name. Okay, and this is nullable, and you can have a color here, color white. Save this. Now you got Jobin. Okay, now you successfully logged in and fetch the user data, and you can access all the data here. And if you want the email, you can access the email. This is the email. And if you want to access the phone number, you can access the phone number here. Okay, everything is available inside your user data variable. Okay, now you have to show that inside your UI, and let's try this with another widget called consumer. Okay, if you want, you can wrap this with a consumer widget, and I think there is no need of wrapping this with consumer widget. We are getting the data. Okay, and if you want, you can wrap it to the consumer. Then your consumer has got a I'll show you how to wrap this with. Okay, and wrap this with a consumer widget. Consumer, and you need to specify which provider you need to consume, and I need actually user service. Auth service. Okay, then you have to mention the builder. Builder will accept the context. Then you need to create an instance of that provider, that is auth service, then the child. Okay, and this is going to return this thing, and this is going to return that, and let's remove that child. Actually, the error is this thing. I don't need that child though. And you need to put a semicolon at the end and reformat this thing, and I'm going to reload this thing, and you'll get exactly the same result, but we don't need this again because we are using a consumer here. Okay, now we need to create the UI, and actually this is going to return a sender, and let me remove that sender from here. I don't want this sender. I need this to be a column widget. Okay, and that column have a children, and save this, and don't forget the semicolon here. Okay, now you got your column. Then I need an app text at the top. App text data welcome. Now you got welcome at the top here, and we need actually an app bar here. So app bar. Okay, and save this. Now you got an app bar, and below that you have that text here, and let me wrap this with a container, and give a height of infinite height, and give a width of infinity, and the child should be no, and the padding should be edge inset dot all of 20, and save this. Now you got the text in the center, and let me give a color to that text, color white, and save this. Now you have welcome. I need everything to be left aligned, so I'm going to give a cross axis alignment start and save this. Now you have welcome, and I need the user login username at the right side of this welcome. So let me wrap this with a row. Okay, and the first thing is this welcome text, and the second thing is that user, and you know how to access that user. Actually that value is inside your user data, so I'm going to copy this thing and let me call my user data. Okay, and user data dot name, and that is nullable, so you got welcome job in. I need a small space, so give a size to box, width 10. Okay, and if you want to increase the size of the second text, you can have a size variable here. Size is, I need 18, and that is a bit more higher, so give a 26. Now you got welcome job in, and after this welcome I need something like this, welcome job in. Excuse me. And I need an icon here, and so you can have a profile icon here. Actually we are not storing any profile picture here, but I'm going to have a third child, and that is your circle avatar, and inside the circle avatar I need a text, and I need that text to be the first character of your name. So I can have user data dot name of 0 and dot to uppercase. Okay, now save this. Now you have a circle avatar with that name, with that text alphabet in center, and I need this to be at the end, and all other things are here in the left side. So let me cut this thing, cut this, and I'm going to make a container again, and the child should be again a row children, and paste it here, and after this put a comma. Okay, save this, and I'm going to give the main axis alignment space between. Save this. Now you have that thing at the right side. Okay, and I need a divider after this, so you can have come here and you have a custom divider, my divider. Okay, and save this, and you will get a divider. Okay, I need the color to be, and you can customize this divider, and I need the color to be deep orange, and that is a button color, and now your divider is deep orange. Okay, clear? Okay, then let's add all other functionalities. Here we need to add, you need to show all the income and all the expense. That means your total income and total expense. I need have provision to add income and add expense. All these are the things we want to create here, and after that I need to show a chart here. Okay, and when you click here you need to move into the profile page. Okay, that's what we need. Let's create that. Okay, and we need some dashboard widgets here. Actually I just created a dashboard widget as a component, so I'll share you the code, don't worry, and these are just simple classes, and I just created that for avoiding that redundancy. So I'm going to call my dashboard, no, it is actually called dashboard widget, dashboard item widget, and this is a custom class, and you can have two items, that is you have add income and you have something some other thing in your dashboard. So I'll show you what is this, and if you want you can customize that, and I can have an on tap here because I wrote an on tap, and you have two on taps. Then the title is expenses and income. Okay, and save this. Now you got something like this. Okay, and if you want a space here, and you can add a sized box here, sized box with a height of 20. Okay, then save this. You got a small space. Okay, now we need to show all the income here and all the expense here, and I need one more item here, and that is for, and this is for add income, and this is for add expense. And save this, and you can have as many widgets you want. And if you click on the add income, you have to redirect into your add income page, and we haven't created that. And next we are going to create that add income page, and here we have to show an income versus expense graph. Okay, that's what we are planning to do. Okay, let's create that. Okay, next I'm going to add this graph here. I just tried that, that's why it is here. Let me refresh that. Okay, that's gone, and I'm going to add that chart here. For adding that chart, I'm going to add a package called FL chart. I just added FL chart here, and if you want to know, if you want to refer the documentation, you can refer the documentation and go to the pub dev and type this, search for this FL chart. Okay, then let me pub get this thing. Okay, and it's already fetched. Okay, now come to your home page, and after this home page, I need to add that chart. Let me create a container first. Okay, I'm going to have a container, and inside that container I'm going to add that chart. So give me a padding and edge inset dot all 20. Okay, then child should be a column. Okay, and children, and the cross axis alignment is start. Cross axis alignment it's start. Okay, now inside this column I'm going to add my app text here, app text, because I need to show a text there. So, and this thing is actually, this graph is income versus expense. Okay, and I need the color to be white, and save this. Now you got a text there, and after the text I need a sized box, because I need a gap between this text and the chart. So I'm going to add a sized box with a height of 20. Okay, then and don't forget to add the comma because you are inside a list. Okay, then I need to call this chart widget. So we are using a pie chart, so I'm going to call the aspect ratio widget, and aspect ratio is actually 1.3. Okay, I'm going to give a 1.3 aspect ratio. Then the child is actually that pie chart, so I'm going to import pie chart. Okay, then pie chart contains okay, let me check what are the properties, and it contains pie chart, and that contains your pie chart data, and that is pie chart data. Okay, then inside this pie chart data, and I'm going to have some properties. So I need to have sections. Okay, what are the sections you need? Actually we need two sections, one for income, another one for your expense. So I'm going to call pie chart section data, and you can define a color. Actually I defined some colors here, and I need a red color for expense, and I need a green color for income. So we can use that color, and that is called chart color 1 for expense, and this is for expense. And you have a value property, value. I'm going to give a hard coded value here, but later we'll change that from our Hive database. Then you need a title, and title is actually expense. Okay, then after that you can define the title style. What is the error here? And can't be assigned to the parameter type, and this is actually a list, so I forgot to add. Section is a list, so inside this list you can add this thing. Let me save this. Now you got a circle here because we have only one section. Let me copy this section again and paste it here, and I'm going to have this thing as income, and the value is actually, let me give a 50 value. Save this, and the color should be 2. Now you got 2 sections, and you can style your section title and all those things. I just copied a section title style. Okay, you can define that title style. Now you got white color, and you can define the radius property also, and I'm going to define the radius here, radius, and let me give a radius of 50. Okay, and and if you want to customize the radius of the expense section, you can add exactly same radius here, radius 50. Now you got 50, and if you want expense to be or income to be highlighted more, you can give an 80 radius, and no, income is actually 50. Okay, and expense is actually let me give a 30 radius. Now it is smaller. Okay, and that's not good, so I can give a 40 radius. Okay, and this is how it looks. And you can add more customization, like you can have something like the section space. I need the space between. Let me give both radius 50, and you can have that section space, and that is a property of this thing, section space. I'm going to give a 5 space here, so you have a gap between. And if you want to see if you want to fill some color inside this thing, and you have properties for that, and you can come something sender space color, and that is sender space color, and let me give a white color, sorry, let me give a white color and save this. Now your sender space is filled, and if you want you can go with that, otherwise you can make it transparent. By default it is transparent, and you have a lot of properties like this, and you can customize this thing. I'm not going with this white, I'm going to make this a transparent thing. Okay, save this. Now it is transparent, and this is the chart, and it is very simple. Use the package and import the pie chart. There are different charts inside your FL chart. You can go to the documentation and refer which one you want, and if you want a bar chart you can use that. Okay, then after this I need to get the data from your Hive DB and show that percentage here. That's what we need, and actually we need to add income first and add some expenses. That's what we are going to do next. Okay, next is I want to add an income. So when you click here, you need to you want to show a form, and inside that form we need to select a category and the amount and a button. This is what we need. So first of all you have to create that design. So let me add a route inside my route section here, and I'm going to call this as add expense. Okay, and we'll be redirecting to your add expense page. Okay, and this page or this class doesn't exist, so you have to come to screens, then create a dot file, and that is called add expense. Okay, and here I'm going to have material and stateful widget, add expense page. Okay, and this is a scaffold because that is a new page, so that is a scaffold. Okay, and you need to import your add expense class here. Okay, now save this, click here, and it won't be redirecting because we haven't passed that route here. So come to your dashboard widget and add income, and first this is add income, so I'm going to have add income there. And if you want to, let me change this to add expense. Okay, save this. Now you have add expense here, save it again, and this is add income. Okay, when I click here, I need to go to that page, so you can call navigator dot push named, because we want to come back. So add expense, and make sure that you spell the route name correctly and check it here. Okay, that is okay, and home page, that is okay. Then save this, click here. Now you are inside your add expense page. Then come to your add expense page and create that UI. Okay, I'll create that UI off the video, or pausing the video, because that will create some time, and I'm not going to waste your time because that is purely UI. I think you already know how to create that UI, and it contains only a drop down with a lot of categories, and a text box for entering the amount, and a button. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me create it first, and I'll come back. Okay, I have added that pages here, and when you click here, you'll be redirected to add expense page, and when you click the income, and you'll be redirected to the income page. Okay, and actually I have added some categories here. These are the expense categories, and I just replicated this also with the same field, and we'll change it later. We will change this categories later. Okay, then you have a description field, and you can have a amount field, that is a number field. Okay, then this is how you create your UI for adding income and expense. Now you need to create models for income and model for expense. Let's first create a model for income, and before creating that model, and let's discuss what are the things we need. Okay, for an income, obviously we need an ID, and because we have a login system, multiple users can log in into this thing, so we have to add a UID, that means user ID, with every income post. Then only you can later get that person's income and person's expense separately, otherwise you will get all data. Okay, then I'm going to have one more thing, and I need the amount. Okay, and I need a description field. Okay, then the category. Okay, then one more thing, and that is created. Okay, sometimes in future you'll have to sort income expense based on some date, and then you have to have this created at field. Okay, so these are the things we need inside our model. So let's create a model file, and this is a Hive model, so I'm going to create a dot file here that is called income underscore model. Okay, and you know how to create a Hive class. So class income model, that is extending from Hive object. Okay, and you need to generate the adapter. So I'm going to have that income underscore model dot g dot what is the extension, and let's check that. And this is actually g dot dart. Okay, that is a dart file, g dot dart. Okay, and obviously you will have an error, and you have to mention at hive type, and in this user model we have given type ID as 0, and this is what about this thing, and this is not at all 0, this is 1. Okay, because we are going to have another object into your Hive DB, so that is 1. And you can now you can define all the fields here, and we need, these are the fields we need. And let me copy this, and let me paste that here. Okay, I'm going to paste it here. So I need an ID should be a string ID and make it late string ID, and it's not later, it is late. Okay, I think you already know what is late, what is final, all those things. I'm not going to explain that here. And you need a UID field, so that is also a late field, late string UID, and this is for storing the user ID or the user who is going to store that income. And late double amount and double amount. And you need a string category, late string category. And one more thing, you need to have a description here. So let's have a late string description. Okay, these are the fields we need. Actually, you need to make this a Hive field, so I can make this a Hive field, and this is the 0th index. Okay, copy this and paste it here, and index is 1. Okay, now UID is at first index, then you can have amount is at second index, then your description at third index, and you have a fourth index for category. Actually we have 1 2 3 4 5 and total 4 indexes. Actually you have 4 fields, and write the constructor here. And we need one more thing here, and we forgot to add date. So at Hive field, and that is 5, and late string, no, it's not string, it's actually, you can have date time, created it. Okay, now create the constructor, and this is income model, income model. Okay, then I'm going to make all these things are optional. So come here, required. Okay, and this dot, first field is ID. Okay, then required, this dot UID, and required, this dot, the third field is amount, then required, this dot description, and required, this dot category, required, this dot last one, created it, and this is the constructor. Okay, now reformat this thing. You have one error in the income model, that is because we haven't generated the adapter. So come to terminal, run this command dot run and build underscore runner build, and let's click here. Then your income model file adapter will be generated. Okay, let's wait for it to be generated. Okay, and now my income model adapter is generated, and the very next thing, you have to register this adapter inside your main.bar. So come here, and you can have something like this. This thing is income model adapter. Okay, and you need to open the box because we haven't created a service class, and we'll create a service class. Now let's create an expense model, and come here, new dot file, and you can have expense underscore model. Okay, and I'm going to copy this income model inside this thing, and what is that? Okay, expense model, and paste it here, and let me rename this into expense underscore model, and make sure that you spelled it correctly. And I need to rename this thing also, the class name, and that should be expense model. Okay, now your expense model will have exactly the same fields. Then I need to generate it again, and this time I'll show you what is happening here. Okay, I'm going to run this again, and there will be some conflict because you already have a part file inside your user model and inside your your income model, and now you are trying to generate expense model. Most probably you will get some conflict, and what to do if you get some conflict, I'll show you. And if there is any conflict, okay, let's wait for it to be loaded. No, there is no conflict because this will automatically created and created that file. If there is a conflict, and let me change this to change this model. Let me create, and this should be I'm intentionally make this smaller case. Okay, now you have error in your expense model, and I'm going to regenerate this thing, and let me run it again. Okay, checking updates, running build, and time elapsed. Okay, let's wait. Okay, no, it's not creating any conflict. Okay, now it's okay, and don't worry, in case if there is any conflict, and you'll get some instructions here. You can delete the existing files and you can recreate that, and that's what I meant to show you, but it's not coming. Okay, and now your expense model, your income model, everything, adapters are ready. Now mark that adapter inside your model, main dot, and I'm going to replicate this thing, and this should be your expense model adapter, sorry, and this should be your expense model adapter. Okay, and that's it for this video, and next we are going to learn how to write your financial service page. Okay, so go to services page, services folder, then you have to create a fin underscore service file, and inside this file we are going to write all the functionalities like add income, add expense, okay, and get all income, and that is by UID. Then you need to delete an entry if you want, delete, and accidentally if you enter something accidentally, you can delete, and you can edit something, and these two things are available for both income and expense. Okay, so these are the functions we need to implement, and one more thing is I need to open the box, and you need to open box, that is one box is for income and one box for expense. Okay, and these are the things we have to complete in the next video. Okay, and let's do it. Okay, now let's come inside your service class. Let me create a class called this is actually user service or financial service, you can whatever you can call it, fin service. Now let me go with this user service, because user is going to do all these things, so I'm going to call this user service. Okay, and we need to have provider, so with change notifier provider, no, change notifier, it's not provider, it's my mistake. Okay, it's actually change notifier, and remove this thing, it is coming from the material or Cupertino class. Okay, you can import that. Okay, now you have to define your boxes and all those things. So let me create some box names here, because we need boxes like this. Actually we need incomes and expense, these are the boxes we need, and we have to calculate total income and total expense of this particular user. And let me create a private variable, total income. Okay, and the value is 0.0. okay, and after this I'm going to create again a variable underscore total expense, that is also initially 0, and we need to update this value whenever a user add an income, and we need to update this value whenever he updates an expense. So you need a getter for accessing this value from your UI, so or outside this direct this dot library. So you can have a double get and total income, and this is going to return underscore total income. Okay, I think you already know what are getters and setters. Okay, this is a getter, and I need to have a total expense, and you're going to get total expense. Okay, because these are private variables, and you cannot access these private variables or private properties outside this library. Okay, and if you want to access that thing, you need to write some functions, and we are going to write some getter function, and if you want to set this value, you have to write some setters. Okay, and remember, getter will obviously, or getter will always have a return type. Okay, and setters won't have. Setters return void. Okay, now we have to open the box. Okay, we have to write open box. So I'm going to create a future, and the type is actually box, then income model, and this is another way, and we actually write this in another way in our authentication system, and I'm going to I'm intentionally writing this in another way, and then only you can understand what are the different options for creating this, and exactly same thing, but I am using it in another way. So this is for future. All inside that box items are of income model. Then you need to if you want to access this box, you need to have that Hive adapters. Then give a name, and that is called underscore open box, open income box, or simply open. I'm not going to use that underscore here because we need to access that box from box inside our you need to open that box inside our main dot. Okay, I'm going to have open box, open, this is for income box. Okay, this is for income, and that is an async operation, and this is going to return, and what this is going to return when you open a box, you need to return await hive dot open box, and give the box name, and box name is actually we already defined the box name here, that is income box name, and you can pass that here. Okay, then what is the type of that box, and this is income model. Okay, now put a semicolon here, and this is the open box method. Then come to your main dot, and you can call your user service await user service. Okay, then dot open income box. Okay, then come back to your service page. Then after this you need to open at the same way you have to open another box that is called expense box. Okay, and you need to import expense and open expense box. I'm going to remove this private property here. I'm going to remove that underscore, otherwise it is private, then you can't access from here. Okay, and this is open expense box. Okay, now you have two boxes. Now you have to write method for adding your income and adding your expense. So for adding an income, I'm going to create a future void method add income. Okay, then you can have income model income. Okay, from the UI we are going to pass that income data. Okay, then or income object, and pass that object to this method. Then first of all you need to check whether this box is open or not. So you have to create final income box equal to open await open income box. Okay, and using that box I'm going to wait for await income box dot add. You can add income. Okay, then okay, and after adding income, at the same way you can add what you can add expense also. You just add income and you can add at the same way you can add expense here. Okay, and this should be add expense, and this should be expense model, and that is we can call it as expense. Okay, and this is not income, this is expense. Okay, and final expense box equal to open expense box. Okay, and put a space here. Okay, and this is not income box, this is expense box. Okay, and this is for adding expenses. And now we need to calculate the total income for that particular user. So I'm going to create a future void. Okay, and this is for calculate total income. Okay, and you need to pass an ID of that user, otherwise you will get all the incomes. Okay, I just pass an ID. Now you have to wait for you have to take all the income. I am going to open this box first, and I'm going to open the box. Then this is an async method, async. Now after this I need to store all the income from this thing. Final list income model income equal to await. Okay, get all income. And you can call a method get all income. Okay, actually I think I don't need to open box here, because we are going to write that get all income inside that get all income method. So I just wrote a get all income method, and for getting all income you have to write something like this. Okay, this is very straightforward, that's why I just copied this thing. Open income box, and you need to check income box dot values where income where call an anonymous function and pass that parameter, and take every entry from your income box and match this. Okay, then finally we are going to return that list. That list is stored inside your incomes. Okay, and the method name is actually get all income. Okay, and you need to pass that ID here, that is UID. Okay, you need to pass that UID. Okay, and that is okay. Then after getting all these incomes for this user, we need to update our total income variable. Total income equal to, right now it is 0, so I need to update this thing. So I'm going to call my expense and this thing incomes dot, you can fold this. Okay, that the initial value is 0.0. I think you already know what is this fold method. Then the previous value element, then we are going to have some logic here, that is actually previous value plus expense dot amount. That is your previous value plus you have to call the expense. No, it's income, not expense, income. And I think fold, and we just wrote a fold, and previous value, let me make this income, otherwise you will get confused. Income, and this is income dot amount. Okay, and put a semicolon here. What is that? Okay, you can add a semicolon here. Okay, now when you after updating this thing, this is your calculate total income method, and whenever you update or when you add an income, you need to call this method, otherwise you won't get the updated data inside your UI. So inside your add income method, you want to await for underscore calculate total income. No, it's calculate total income, so that is UID. So you need to pass UID here, that is income dot UID. Okay, then you need to notify the listeners. Okay, all the UI elements that are consuming this variable should get notification, hey, go and update, this variable is updated. Okay, so this is how you add an expense and income, get all income, and at the same way I need to write this expense also. So let me write a method for let me copy this, and I'm going to write a method for get all expense, and the same way you can have it is also going to return a list, but the change is it is expense model. And come here, you need to open another box, that is expense box. Open expense box, and the name of this thing is, let me reformat this thing, rename, and this is expense box. Okay, then where it's not income, this is actually expense, so it's not income, this is expense. Okay, and now you can write another method here for calculating the total expense. So come here and copy this thing, calculate total expense, and you have to pass the UID, and this is not income model, this is expense model, and the name of this list is not expense, it's not income, these are expenses. Okay, now you need to call await get all expense, you need to pass that, then the total, this variable, and this is actually total expense, and this is expense dot fold previous value, this is not income, this is expense. Okay, then expense dot amount. Okay, so and come here when you add income, okay, and when you add expense, you have to do exactly the same thing, and await for exactly the same thing. You need to notify the listeners, you need to call these two methods, and actually I'm going to rewrite this thing, and this is get all expense. Okay, and this thing is expense dot UID, and notify the listeners. Let me reformat this thing, and this is actually our what, and this is actually our service class, and you can have an update method, update totals, and okay, no, let's try with this thing, and if it is not enough, we'll go with we'll change the service class. Okay, now inside the UI I need to show this expense here. First of all, you have to add this provider inside your main dot. So come to your provider, multi provider, and add this provider here. Okay, and come here, put a comma, and copy this thing, and this is user service, and you can append provider with this to identify this is a provider class. I just append I just use the user service, that convention. Okay, I think you got the point. Okay, now come back to your UI, and this is a UI, that is our home page. Okay, now I need to consume this thing inside my UI. Let's do that. Okay, now let's try to add an expense and add an income. So click on this add expense page. Inside this button, I need to call that add income and add expense method. So go to your home page, go to your add expense page. Okay, then under this thing, let me call that provider first, and you can final, I'm calling it as fin service. Okay, fin service equal to, and what is that, you can call provider dot of context okay, and you have to pass the provider here, and this is user service. Okay, now and come down inside this button, and we are going to call that fin service dot, you can have add income here, and this is actually expense, add expense. So you have to create an expense model, and this fin service dot add expense, let's go to that method, fin service, whether it is going to return anything. No, it's not going to return anything. So if you want, you can return a bool, and based on that bool you can go back, or you can do something like that. Okay, and come here, add expense, and I'm going to create a model. So I'm going to have expense model, expense equal to expense model. Okay, and this contains this much data. Okay, this much properties. You need to have a category created at all those things. So let me comment this for the time being and put a semicolon here. ID is actually this particular transaction ID. So I'm going to create a UUID package here. I'm going to use that package here, and let me create var UUID equal to UUID dot v1. Okay, now I'm going to assign that UUID for this transaction. Okay, then what is this thing UID? Actually we don't have a UID here, and we don't know exactly which user is this. So I'm going to have a final UID. Okay, and that should be, we can pass that here, this dot UID. Okay, then go to your home page, and find that route. Actually we are moving to this add expense from here. So you can have arguments here, I'm going to pass the ID. Actually we have that ID inside our user data dot ID. Okay, now you'll get that ID inside your add expense page, and you need to access that argument. So I can write that something like this. I'll show you how to access that. Okay, then inside my home page, and how can I access that home screen, and I need to access that ID, and you can have something like, or you can pass the entire thing to here, and actually this is a final string ID that is equal to, you can call the modal route, I think modal route dot of context dot, and that is nullable, dot settings dot args, argument as string. Okay, that is a string, and put a semicolon. Now you got ID, that passed value inside this ID. Okay, now Now come here, and at the bottom you can pass that ID here. Okay, and if all these IDs make some confusion, you can rename this thing as user ID. Okay, and I'm going to pass this here, user ID. Then the amount that is coming from the controller, and you know the controller, the value from the controllers are actually what string, so you need to parse that. I'm going to double dot parse, and that is amount controller dot text. Okay, and description, you can directly add that underscore description controller dot text. Then the category, I think you have something called category. No, and let's check that what is a variable name. And decoration drop down, and on change expense categories. Where is the on change? Map to list. Okay, and it is actually category, so you can copy that, and this is category. Okay, why that's error? Argument string can't be assigned to the, let me have a to string method to quickly fix that error, and I can have a datetime dot now here. Okay, now that's it, and now you can activate this thing, and this is actually expense. I just used exp expense. Okay, now after this you can pop navigator dot pop context. Okay, and one more thing, I need to show, let me go back, and this is the page, and inside this page I'm going to have that exactly, I'm going to take this from here, and this thing. Okay, and let's try how income is updating. So come to your home page, and let me paste that here. Okay, you already have a consumer here. Then let me copy this here, and I think you placed it here. Okay, now come to your welcome and the dashboard. I need to show that expense here. No, okay, I need to show that expense here, so you can use that fin service, and this is actually dollar fin service dot total expense. Let me save this. Now you got 0.0. Okay, let me add an expense here, and come here, housing, description. I'm going to give rent as my description, rent, and the amount is 15,000. Okay, add expense. Okay, I just add an expense, but it isn't updated here, and why? And let's reload this thing. Let me reload this thing. No, it's still there. Let me reboot this thing, and you have an error here. There is already a type adapter of type 1. Okay, that is the problem, and we actually copied that. So let me go to my expense model. Okay, what is the income model? And it is 1. And what is the expense model? And it is actually 2. Okay, so let's regenerate the class, and if you make any changes to your class, you have to regenerate this thing. So come here. Okay, run this build command again, and that will regenerate your adapter class. That is my mistake, and I'm extremely sorry for that. Actually, I forgot to change. Okay, so you better go to change this thing, and it was my mistake, I admit that. Okay, now my my adapter is changed. Okay, my expense model is changed. Let me try to add an expense here. Okay, add expense. It's not working. Why? Let me reboot this again. Okay, your app is loading. Okay, got data. click here. Now you are inside your expense page and select the category housing. Let me add this as rent and the amount is 15,000. Okay, and add expense, and you don't have any errors here. Now you got the value updated here. Now you can see your expenses here. Let me add another expense, and food and groceries, and your description, I just hotel food, and this is for 600, and add an expense. Now you got that value updated here. Now your logic is correctly working, and now you need to implement add exactly this for add income. Then you have to show that income here. For showing that income on your home page, you need simply copy this thing, I think all these things. Okay, copy that, then come down and find add expense, add income. No, your total income. Where is the second title? And this is the income, and paste that here. Okay, and this is for total income. Save this. Now you got 0.0 as your income. Right now you don't have any income, and let me add an income here and come to your add income page. Where is the add income page? Okay, now you have to do exactly the same thing like your add expense. So go to add expense, copy something from here, and this is actually we need exactly the user ID and all those things here. So let me come here and copy this thing and take this to your add income page. Okay, and paste it on top of this build method here. Okay, and you need to import the provider here, provider, and also the user service. Okay, now you have to pass that user ID from the home page. From the home page, take the second route. Where is that route? Add expense, add income, and you can pass arguments as user data dot id. Okay, that's it. Then go back because you don't have a value there, and you can have add income. Now it is okay. Now come to your add income page. Where is that add income page? Okay, let me first take the add expense page. You can copy something from here, and I think you can copy this entire on tap from here. Okay, I'm going to copy all these things here. Come to your add income, come down and take a look at our on tap and replace this thing. Obviously you have error because there is no key here, so this is income key, and there is no package imported, so import the package. And this is not expense model, this is actually income model, and I'm going to rename this as income, and this is income model. Okay, and all other things are actually same. Okay, and this is, it's not add expense, it is add income. Okay, and reformat this thing, save this. I'm going to add an income, and actually income categories are these are not exactly income categories. Let me replace these categories first. Okay, I just replaced the categories list, and I have some more interesting things here, that is salary, freelance, investment income, business income, all those things. Let me add an income. See, let me add as a what, salary. Okay, salary, and description, monthly salary of April. Okay, and the amount is I just need a 45k. Okay, add income. Now you can see your income is updated. Okay, so the rest of the things we have to implement, the remaining things are like this. you need to have a profile page, and you need to show that this data, that income versus expense inside your chart. Okay, let's do that. Let me try with something like this. Actually, we are hard coded the data here, and this is actually your fin service dot total expense. That's a double value, and save this. Now you got your total expense, and come here. I need to pass this as my total income. Save this. Now you got that data, and now you got 45,000 as my income, and I just spent 15,600. Okay, I think this is very simple, and let me add an expense here, and expense is I'm going to have a personal care, and that is actually 4,000 rupees, and it is for some spa. Okay, that is for amount is 4,000. Add expense. Now you can see your graph is changed a bit. Okay, so that is very simple, and just call that provider values. These values are actually from your provider. That's why it's gets updated in real time. Okay, that we manage the state using provider. Okay, I think this thing is clear to you, and next we have to create a profile page. Okay, I just created a page here, profile page, and it's just a simple class, and I'm going to call that auth service provider, because we need to get the user data, and from that I'm going to get the current user, and you already written that method here in your auth service, and we have something like this can get current user data, and we are going to access that. Okay, and by accessing that I'm going to fill out all the fields here. Okay, and you'll get user dot email, user dot name, everything. So when you click here, you'll be redirected to your profile page. Okay, and if you want, you can write a method for editing this thing. Okay, and I am leaving that for you, and you just try how to write that edit a Hive data. Okay, we have some final tweaks to do. Actually, we are not getting any feedbacks if there is no user, or if there is no such user exist. Actually, I just deleted my app. I uninstalled my app and reinstalled it. Now I don't have any user with this credential, this combination, and if I click here, you are not getting any response here. I need to show something to the user saying that there is no user with this credential. Okay, so go to your login page, and this is a login page, and I'm going to write an else part here. Else, I need to show a scaffold messenger dot off context dot show snack bar. Okay, I'm going to show a snack bar here, and that's inside that snack bar I'm going to have no user exist. Okay, and let me click here. Now you can see no user exists, and I want to show this in red color, so you can have a background color that should be red. Okay, and if I click here, I'll get an no user exist. So let me create that user. I'm going to have that user jobin@gmail.com, and the password is 12345678, and name is actually, I need the name as Jobin, and I need the phone number as 78456545. Okay, then I'm going to click register. Now you are registered, and click here. Now you are successfully logged in, and initially there won't be any data here. And let me add one expense. I'm going to have an housing expense, and I'm going to this as my rent. Okay, and the amount is 1500. Okay, and just added an expense. Now you got that value here, your expense. Now you can add an income here. An income is I need some salary, then I'm going to have salary and amount is 45,000. Add. Now you have your salary and income is 45,000, expense is 15,000, and you can have this graph. Okay, now it's working. Let me reboot this thing. If you are persisting the data, whether I need to check whether this data is loading initially, and I'm going to click here and reload this app. Okay, it's loading. Okay, now you got your data, and I made some changes in my home page. Yesterday we have, in the previous video we have done something like this, and it's very similar. I just add an initial. In that video I haven't fetched this initial data. That means we need to get what is the initial value inside this Hive DB. That means our total income and expense. So that I need to I need to access these methods, and these are some additional methods I have written in that service class. Nothing, these are just because I can't directly call this calculate expense in my UI, because this is a private method. So I just created some other two methods, and I'm going to call that method, that private method, inside that method, and then you can access, then you can have that total income. Actually this total income is calculating the total income and updating our total income value, and you can access total income by using these getters. Okay, and this is what I wrote, I have added additionally. And one more thing is there, I just add something like this: widgets binding dot instance dot add post frame callback and fetch initial value. This is I'll explain what is this. Okay, and this widgets binding dot instance dot add post frame callback, and you have a callback method in this function, and it is actually Flutter's framework, a method in Flutter's framework, and which allows you to register a callback that to be invoked after the current frame has finished rendering. Okay, and I'll explain. Okay, when Flutter renders something, renders a UI, it does that rendering in frames. Each frame represents a complete cycle of building the UI and rendering it on the screen. Okay, and when you call a add post frame callback, you are essentially saying that after the current frame has finished rendering, execute the callback function. Okay, and I'll tell you one more thing, one more time. When you call add post frame callback, you are essentially saying like this: after the current frame has finished rendering, execute this callback. And here we are writing inside the init state. So we are saying that the callback function is executed after the initial frame has finished rendering. After the initial frame has finished rendering, call this this method. Okay, then this is often used when you need to perform some initialization task after the UI has been fully built and rendered, and that's why we wrote something like this: widgets binding dot instance dot add post call frame callback. Okay, this is actually Flutter UI's method. It contains in the framework. Okay, and in this code, this fetch initial data is called after the initial frame has been rendered, ensuring that it doesn't interfere with the initial UI rendering process, but still gets executed shortly afterwards. And this approach actually we are using for fetching some data or performing tasks that require the UI to be fully built. Okay, that's what that thing means. Okay, I hope you understand. And these are the changes we have made. I have made to this code. Okay, I'll give you the GitHub repo. You can play with that. Okay, and we almost completed the project. And one more thing is the remaining thing is when you click on this icon or this tile, I need to show all the transactions. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's create some routes first. Initially we need to create a route. I'm going to have a route called list page. Okay, and currently this page, this route doesn't exist, so come to your screens folder and create a go and create a new dot file that is actually list underscore transactions dot. Okay, now this is your list page, and inside this list page you can create a stateless widget, and this should be a stateless widget list expense transactions. Okay, actually you can create two pages. One is for expense transaction, and the one is for your income transaction. Or you can create a single page and you can pass some properties from here. Okay, let me create two separate pages. That would be easy for you guys to follow. I think you can create a scaffold here. Okay, now come and call your list expense transactions inside your route. Okay, and this is actually list expense transactions, and you have to import this class here. Okay, and now come to your home page and go and find that route here, and you have to find this on tab. I'm going to call navigator dot push named, and what is the route name? Actually I have given the route name as list. I'm going to have expense. Okay, this is what I need, so let me copy that and come to your home page and paste it here. And actually you need this to be this as a string. Okay, and now I'm going to pass an argument here, arguments, and I need to pass this total expense. You can pass the total expense here. Okay, now at the end of this thing put a semicolon. Okay, because there is an error, you need to add a semicolon here, and click here and save it. Now add expense. That is okay. No, I need to click here expense. Now you got a page, and that will I need to show all the expense here. Okay, so go to that list. Let me refactor this to list, rename list expense exp transactions. Okay, now you can have an app bar here, app bar, and save it. Now you have an app. You need an app bar here. Let me save this. What is the error here? Right now we are in list expense transactions, and let me go back. Okay, and click here. Now you have an app bar. I need a title here, app. Now you can call the title property, and I'm going to call my app text widget app text data, and this is all expenses, and save this. Now you'll get a texture, and after this I need to list all the transactions. So for that, inside this here, inside this build method, actually I need to get that argument, and I'm going to have a final double total expense equal to modal route dot of context dot settings of context, and that is nullable actually, of context dot settings, okay, dot arguments, and as double, okay, put a semicolon. Now you got your total expense there. Then inside this body I'm going to have a future builder. That is a future builder, so obviously it has a future, and the future is actually, I need to know who is the user, and I need to get all the transactions from of that user. For that I'm going to call that provider final and fin service equal to provider dot of context provider. You need to import the provider class here, and come and import the provider class, provider dot of context, okay, and I'm going to make listen false, okay. And now you have to mention which is the provider, and this is actually user service, and I need one more provider, and that is for your auth service. From there I can get the current user ID, or you can pass the user ID. I'm going to get from my provider, and the provider is actually auth service, okay. Now inside the future builder I'm going to call my auth service dot get current user, okay, and that will give you the current user. And builder, inside the builder I'm going to pass the context and snapshot, okay, and you have to do some check. I'm going to copy that actually from my previous pages, and let me copy that, and I need to check whether what is the connection state. And after that if it has if snapshot has data, then I'm going to have final user data equal to snapshot dot data, okay. Now once again I'm going to return a future builder, okay, and this is going to give you list of expense models, and the future is actually go to your fin service, or here we call it as user service. So go to user service, then you can access dot get all expense, and you need to pass the UID, that is user data dot ID, and the builder is actually, and you need something like this, and no, builder is actually context comma snapshot again. Then you can check, you can do a check here, that is whether this snapshot whether the snapshot is waiting or not, whatever. Then after that I need to write an else here, and inside that else I'm going to have if snapshot has data, then you need to list all the transactions. So I'm going to take that transactions final list expense model, you can call it as expenses equal to snapshot dot data, okay. Now I'm going to return I'm going to return a column, okay, because I need to show the total expense on top, and I'm going to call app text, and this is actually $, the total expense, Okay, that is actually passed through your arguments. And after that, I'm going to call an expanded here. Expanded because we are going to have a list view dot builder inside this. So this builder is going to have a context index. Okay, and this is going to return list tile. Okay, and before that I'm going to take final expense equal to expense of index. Okay, I think you got the point. Actually, in this expenses list we have all the expense transactions, and I just took one expense inside this thing. Then this is a return statement, put a semicolon here, and the title is actually a text widget. You have expense dot and you have a category. Okay, let's first try with this category. Then, and this is what we need. And after this thing I need to, after all these things, I think you need a future builder. You need a semicolon here, and you need a semicolon here also. Then let me close this if, and this is an if here. Okay, if snapshot has data, and you have an else here, then you need to write all these things else if. You need to add proper proper return statements. Body future builder, then if snapshot has data, else you are going to return this thing, and inside this thing, what is this bracket closing, and you have to return a center child circular progress indicator. Now, okay, and you have to mention what is the item count. I forgot to add that count inside the list view builder, and you have to mention the item count. What is the item count? Actually expense dot length. Then save this. Now you got one transaction here. Actually we have done only one transaction, and the color of that is actually black, that's why it's not visible. I'm going to have data, then inside that data you can have that expense category, and you can have color white. Save this. Now you have housing, and that is a category. I'm going to wrap this with a widget called card. Save this. Now you have a card, and inside the card I don't need this color, so let me have a black 87. Now you have your expense, and I need the amount as my subtitle, and you can have transaction date, all these things, and you can have subtitle. And let me replicate this thing, and I can have subtitle here, subtitle. Then this is actually amount. Save this, and I think expense dot amount, that is actually double value, so you have to convert that to a string. Now you got your expense. Okay, this is the first transaction, and if you want some padding, you can add padding at the top. This is actually a future builder. You can wrap this with a widget called, no, you can wrap it directly with the padding. Wrap with padding, that is 20. Let me give it 20 padding. Okay, and I need to show actually I need to show the show your total expense. Actually it is there, and it's not visible, the color white. Okay. Okay, now you go to the expense, and if you want you can add something like this, total expense. Save this. You go total expense, and we can set the cross axis alignment as start. Now it is at the left, and if you want some space between this thing, you can add a sized box here, a const sized box with a height of 20. Okay, and if you want a divider here, you can call my divider. Okay, and save this. Now you go to your divider here, and I don't need this much space, and save this. Okay, now after this let me replicate this thing once again. Copy this, paste it here, save it. Okay, and these are the transactions, and if you want to know the details of this transaction, let me have some modal here. Okay, I can have something called on tap. Okay, and inside the on tap you can call your modal bottom sheet. Okay, I think you already know what is that. You can play around this thing. I'm just this already this video is a bit lengthy, so anyway I'll show you. You can call show modal bottom sheet. Okay, now you have context and the builder, and builder, inside the builder you have to specify the widget you need to build when you click when inside that modal sheet. So I can have a container here, and let me give a height here. Why you have an error? Builder. Okay, so builder is actually accepting context. Okay, then this is going to return a container. Okay, then put a semicolon and give a height of 150, and let me have a padding at inset.all 20, and the child should be a column, children. I need the cross axis alignment start. Okay, and the children is actually our app text. Okay, you can have this thing, and you can access dollar expense dot, and you need to have that curly brace, expense dot category. Then you can replicate this thing. Okay, I need expense dot category, and I need description expense dot amount. Okay, and this is to string because that is a double value, and you don't need to exclusively convert this thing because you are inside a string interpolation, and I need the created at. Okay, let me save this, and if you click here you can see a modal is popping up, and I need the width to be, width is actually I'm going to call my media query dot off context dot size dot width, and save this and click here. Now you can see you have that transaction details. Okay, now let's add a new transaction. I'm going to add an expense here and select a category, and that is food and groceries. I'm going to have something called food from hotel. Then this is it's 650 and add. Okay, now your transaction is added. Now you have an expense added. Then if you click here you can see one more transaction there, and click here. Now you can see that data, and at the same way I need one more thing. I need to click on my income, and I need to show all the income transaction. It's very simple, and you can come here and create a new dot file. Let me come here and create a new dot file, and that is called list income transactions. Okay, now this is exactly same as your expense transaction, so I'm going to have that here. Then I just copied that, and I'm going to refactor this thing and refactor rename, and this is actually I'm going to refactor this thing and income. Okay, then the difference is this thing is I'm going to refactor this thing, refactor rename, and this is not expense, this is actually income. and this is actually all incomes. Then future builder, and inside the future builder you need to call get all income. Okay, and what is the error? The type is not expense model, this is actually income model. Okay, then come down and you have this list, and this is also income model, and this is not total expense, this is total income. Okay, and you have a few more errors, and this thing created at the spelling of this thing is actually created at. Okay, now all of your errors are vanished, and you have to create a new route here. And let me copy this route, Control D, and this is list income, and this is list income transactions, and you have to import this class here. And the remaining thing is actually you missing a comma here. And come to your home page. Inside your home page, and you need to call, I'm going to copy this thing and that paste it here, and you need to change the route name, and route name is list income, and this thing is total, this is actually total income. And save this and click here. Now you can see you have an income, and that is very simple. And if you practice this, you will get that pace. And I just copied that thing and I just renamed everything, and you can also do that. And don't worry, and once you're familiar with this Flutter, you'll get that pace. Okay, and your total income is 45,000, and let me add a new income, add an income, and come here, select the category, and again I'm going to have some commissions. So I'm going to have sales commission, and this is actually I'm getting 20,000 as my commission. Add income. Now your income is updated to 45,000 plus 20, that is 60,000. Now if you want to see all your income, and click here, now you'll get your details of that income. And if you click here, and you'll get details of that thing. Okay, and this is how you work with Hive. I hope you understand how to work with Hive. And this is what we built, and you have something called profile page. Okay, and if you want, you can add some edit functionality here. I hope you understand. And this is actually a your must-do project, and add this to your portfolio. That will definitely help you to find a job. And practice this thing and become an Hive expert. Okay, I hope everything is clear to you. And if you have any suggestions and if you have any doubts, you can ask me in comment, or you can join our Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel, whatever, or you can directly contact me. Whatever way you can contact me, I'll always ready to help you. And please share your thoughts, comments in the comment section. And if you have any suggestions about future videos, please write it in the comment box. I'll try to do that. And also share this video to your friends who are beginning the Flutter journey. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. I'll come up with a new video, and see you. Bye.